It was the summer of 1922, and I was flying back to the Big Apple, the city of my youth. I was starting a new job as curator of ancient antiquities at the Metropolitan Museum. I had a luxury apartment on the 40th floor of the Alistair condominium. It was going to be life at the top, with the best cars, the best clothes, the best bars, the best cabaret, and the best music. If I was lucky, I'd grab myself a money bag. Life was comfortable for some, but not for all. These were the years of the Great Depression. Life was hard for those making a living on the streets of New York. Every day I would buy a carnation for my buttonhole from Zinnia del Panzia. She was always there, come rain or shine, sitting on the steps near the Met on the edge of Central Park. I do believe she slept there. On my way to a dinner engagement one evening, I stopped to buy my habitual carnation. "By George!" I exclaimed, making several people stare. "Where was she?" She wasn't there. She wasn't there the next day or the day after. In fact, rumors spread throughout the city. Some say she'd had a whirlwind affair and married Ivor Novello. Others said she'd joined a convent. Perhaps she'd become an aviator and flown across the Pacific. Or maybe she'd gone barking mad and been put into Binghamton. Maybe she'd got mixed up with the mob and was sleeping with the fishes in the Hudson. Or could her long-time disappearance be explained by the dancing marathon that had been running at Brighton Beach for the last 6 months? Well, after a while, all stories seem to point in one direction: Egypt. Recently, Howard Carter had set off on an archaeological expedition to Egypt. Naturally, it was in all the newspapers. Carter's search for Tut's tomb made the front page of the New York Times. I stared and stared at the accompanying photograph. By golly, it was her! Zinnia del Panzia, there in black and white. It seems that she'd gone on Carter's expedition. But why had she not come back with the rest of his team? The New York Grapevine said that some beautiful Egyptian artifact had taken her fancy, and that she was now being chased around Cairo by a party of curators trying to get it back. Just listen to the New York chit-chat.
Darling?
Yes, dear?
Did you hear about the Carter scandal?
No, dear.
It was absolutely horrendous. Apparently, he'd just made a breakthrough discovery, some ancient vase, or was it a necklace? It sounds terribly exciting, whatever it was. Yes, I think it was called the rose necklace, famous for its petal-like gems.
Terribly exciting.
Anyway, that flower girl who went missing the other month, the one that turned up to be on the Carter expedition, she stole it.
Stole what, dear?
The necklace.
It wasn't in the Times, dear.
Well, darling, it wouldn't be, would it? It's a secret.
Well, how do you know about it, then?
I've got my contacts. Anyway, now she's being chased by historians and curators across Egypt. They're desperate for it.
For what, dear?
For the necklace, darling. Don't you ever listen.
But that was just the latest tall story, wasn't it? Just last week, the mystery was solved. I was on my way to work at the Metropolitan Museum. And there, back on the steps again, with her little basket on her lap, was Zinnia del Panzia. "Oh, good morning, Zinnia. One of your finest roses, please. And welcome back, of course."
I'm afraid I don't have any of them roses today, sir. But you can have this beautiful specimen instead.
To my astonishment, she held up the missing necklace. It sparkled in the sun. And guess where it is today, dear listener? Pride of place in the Metropolitan Museum.